Hello and welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA channel. My name is Matt, and today we are going to be going over UFC 274 post weigh-in picks, bets, parlays. I'm calling this show Change to Cheddar. I want to try to help you bet as well as you can, or even if you want to bet against me, I'm welcome to that. My goal is to get you money in your pockets with as little as possible. And I got to be honest, we don't start with very much here. We don't talk about units. We don't do any of that. We talk about US currency, them dollars, baby. So without any further ado, let's get into the first fight of the night. All right, up first, we got Jeremy Newsom taking on Fernie Garcia. Fernie Garcia, a newcomer to the UFC. Got to be honest, Jeremy Newsom looks a little bit like Eric Anders, your boy, if y'all know who I'm talking about, but a 135 version. I got to be honest, just looking at their previous records and how their fights have been playing out, that is all the research that I do. I've spent all day today just going over previous fights, how they ended, what time they ended, all of that. And I try to give you the best info that I can. Sorry if I'm all over the place. I haven't done this in a minute, but it is a UFC pay-per-view, so we got to get into it deep here. So as I'm saying, I think Fernie Garcia takes this one. He's got I don't want to say a huge size advantage, but he's got a decent bit um, of a size advantage. And Jeremy Newsom hasn't looked too great in his last UFC fight. So moving on down the card, one that I'm personally more interested in than a lot of people on this card, Ariane Carnelossi taking on Lupi Godinez. I am a huge Lupi Godinez fan. How can you not? The girl is an animal. She's like Kamzat, just trying to fight all the time. And as a UFC fan, how can you not love that? So she's taking on Ariane Carnelossi, and I don't know what's in Ariane Carnelossi's water, but hey, I'm just saying the girl is jacked, and it looks like an unnatural type of jacked, but I don't think it matters. Lupi Godinez here, they're roughly the same size, but at 115, Lupi just seems to have this I don't know, I don't want to say unnatural strength, but she's so much stronger than all these other girls. So I just see Lupi just picking her up over and over again, dumping her. Um I don't know how live the inside the distance here. What is the inside the distance? The over under here is 2.5, under being a plus 210. So I don't know. I'm just going Lupi Godinez straight up because personally I usually bet DraftKings, but Lupi Godinez as over 1.5, um that's only minus 165, and straight up she's only at like a minus 170. You might as well take that straight up money line, main line, whatever you want to call it. Lupi Godinez, I'm going with Lupi. Up next, we got the most Brazilian name I've heard in a while, Clayton Rodriguez, taking on CJ Vergara. 125. So these are the flyweights, the little guys. CJ Vergara got up on the scale at the ceremonial weigh-in and screamed really loudly. I don't know what it was about. I don't really know here. Both relative. One is in what is it? Clayton is a actual newcomer. CJ Vergara fought Ode Osborne in his last fight, which was his debut, and lost that. So not really. It's kind of a low level fight here, but if I gun to my head, I had to pick. I'm going Clayton here. He's a minus 320 favorite. The odds makers kind of know what they're doing for a reason. So moving on down the card, another one I'm a fan of, Tracy Cortez taking on Melissa Gatto. Tracy Cortez is one of these young up and comers. She's really good. I believe she's only like lost once to someone either like right before the UFC or like her like very first fight in UFC, and they were of the UFC level. So she's not really losing to anyone that isn't really good. That being said, Melissa Gatto got a little bit of a height advantage there. I haven't seen too much of Gatto. That's the thing. Um, I'm taking Tracy Cortez here. The over 1.5 really doesn't matter. What is Tracy Cortez by decision here? Tracy Cortez by decision is a plus 120 if you're feeling frisky. Tracy Cortez by decision, but who knows? She is always live for a finish. She's really good. Shout out my boy T City doing your damn thing. Moving on down the card. Francisco Trinaldo taking on Hot Chocolate Danny Roberts. This is a tough one for me because Francisco Trinaldo is really old at this point. However, Hot Chocolate Danny Roberts, he's good. He's good. He's got length. He's good at picking you apart. And if he wins, I could see this winning by decision. However, Trinaldo is always live for these round 3 KOs for some reason. It's like round 3 comes and he has this power button. He just turns on and unloads all of his power in that round 3. It's a very close fight. Odds makers have it minus 105, minus 115. Super close fight. Man, this is a tough one for me. If I got to be honest, I'd probably stay away from it altogether. If I'm going to make a huge parlay, which we'll talk about at the end of the show, this one's probably one that I'm probably not going to throw in there. If you wanted any action on this, Francisco Trinaldo by knockout plus 450, or if you do Francisco Trinaldo by let's see if we can find the third round knockout prop. We got plus 2,000. So if you just want to sprinkle just a little bit on there, a buck or two, what is this for a buck? If you put Francisco Trinaldo $1, if you put $1 on Francisco Trinaldo by third round TKO and he gets that shit, you're turning your $1 into a 20 bill. Hey, that ain't too bad. That ain't too bad. I'm not saying doing it. I haven't done that one yet. I'm not too confident in this fight. That is why. So moving on down the card, Blagoy Ivanov taking on Marcos Rogerio de Lima. Almost did Rogerio de Lima, something like that, because there's one that De Anderson, De Silva, something like that. Got to make sure that wasn't it. Blagoy Ivanov, he always looks nervous, like he's like super shy to be on the scale or in front of anyone. He doesn't really look his opponents in the eyes too often. Today, he did look Marcos de Lima in the eyes a little bit, so it kind of threw me off. But at the early weigh-ins early this morning, he just looked, maybe he was tired, I don't know, he didn't look well. De Lima is the underdog here, which kind of surprises me. Not a whole big plus 120, but if I'm picking right now, I'm definitely picking Marcos de Lima without a doubt. Moving on down to, I believe, the opener or the I don't know how they say it, the opener of the prelims or the main card of the prelims, one of the two. These names are nuts. Brandon Raw Dog Royval taking on I believe Matt Danger Matt Schnell. It is Matt Schnell. I'm just trying to think of his cage name. I believe it's Danger. Anyway, you boys going Raw Dog here. I don't know what it is. I'm a huge Brandon Royval fan. This is one of those spots where if you were to fade me, I would completely understand because I'm completely biased. I'm a Brandon Royval fan through and through. The mini Nate Diaz and as my friend Dorian said earlier in the week, he kind of reminds me of like a 125 year either way. If there's a chance to throw anything spinning, the man is throwing whatever the strike is. He's throwing a spinning attack, spinning elbow, spinning back fist, spinning heel kick. He just loves to spin. He's a little ball of energy, and I'm down for it. These are the fights that make me love the 125-pound division, and I'm down for it. I'm going Brandon Royval here, strictly biased. And I understand, but he is a minus 265 favorite. So if you want some underdog action, Matt Schnell could definitely win if he is able to get Royval down, just hold him, edge out like the decision, because Royval does tend to use a lot of energy. As I said, he is a ball of energy, but he does use it up just a bit. So if you want to fade me here, completely understandable, but I'm going Raw Dog Royval. Up next, we got Macy Chiasson taking on Norbert Dumont. Another one that if you were to fade me on, I would completely understand because I'm a Macy Chiasson fan. I don't know what it is. I've seen I've seen flashes of brilliance in her previous fights. Norma Dumont only fought at 145. This is a 145-pound fight. When Chiasson has looked bad, it has been at 135, but she's also looked good at 135 as well. And then in her last fight, it was at 145, but it was her first fight there. I'm not sure she was adjusted completely. What throws a little wrench in this fight and why I'm heavy on Chiasson is Norman Dumont missed weight. It was by a half pound, but as we'll get to it later on in the card, Oliveira missed by a half pound as well. That half pound, if you can't get that half pound off, I don't know what that says. If you're just like, if you can't sweat anymore, you're just done. Nothing else is coming off. You're so drained. So I don't know. And Chiasson, she got them paws on her. She's live to knock these girls out. I'm trying to watch my language. She's live to knock these girls out. So I'm on like Macy Chiasson here. If you were to fade me, I understand. But she's a plus 185. It's a decent underdog to just sprinkle just a little bit on if you were down for it. Me personally, all my bets are parlays. I very rarely do a straight up bet, and if so, it's got to have some chef's kiss, pristine odds. So moving on down the card, one that I'm super confident on this fight, Randy Brown taking on Chaos Williams. I don't see how Chaos Williams don't crash into him and knock him out. Chaos Williams, he has that power. And you've seen Randy Brown get knocked out most recently against a couple years ago, Vicente Luque, and then let me see if I can find before that. It was against someone like unexpected, like damn, he really got knocked out by Nico Price. Got knocked out by Nico Price as well. That may have been his UFC debut. No, that wasn't even his UFC debut. That was in 2018. So Randy Brown is down to get knocked out. And for anyone who knows Chaos Williams, the man brings some heat. He may not be the cleanest striker. Some may say he's green. I think he's a little bit of a yellow striker. He's not even green yet, in my opinion. But the man has raw power. And if he unleashes it on you, oh, it is over. Most recently that I can think of is when he just crushed by as we'll talk about later on in the card, Andre Fiallo did that recently as well. But yeah, I'm going Chaos Williams here. I think he gets the finish just because Randy Brown tends to he's a little bit of a slow starter, I guess. And he tries to keep his range. If he's able to do that, I could see him edging out this decision. But man, the way Chaos crashes in, tough fight for Randy Brown, in my opinion. I'm going Chaos, hopefully by knockout. Up next, as I was just talking about, Andre Fiallo just got knocked out. Miguel Baeza just a few weeks ago, taking on Cameron Van Camp. Yeah, UFC newcomer. I really don't know too much about him. I was trying to find something. I've just seen his results. He has a lot of finishes in the first round. So both these dudes got a lot of early finishes. So the fight is live to be a banger, a slugfest. Personally, I'm kind of scared to bet. I'm going to be honest. If me personally, I'm probably going to not put too much on this one besides my one like Hail Mary one, let's see if we can get all these fights right. Gun to my head, I'm going Fiallo. He is a minus 425 favorite. It makes sense, but a plus 320 underdog on a UFC newcomer that is live for finishes as well as Fiallo, but the newcomer does have that size advantage. So something to think about. I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. I believe the start, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, the star of the main card, the old dog, the old gunslinger, coming out from out west, Cowboy Cerrone taking on Joe Lozon here. I really love this fight. It's a perfect fight just for both guys. They're both from the same era, and I love it. As you heard me talk about in my podcast earlier this week, if you talked about it, quick plug podcast once a week, the Golden Octagon MMA podcast. I do it every Wednesday, uploaded Wednesday night, Thursday, something like that, with my longtime friend Dorian. We're just two UFC fans, just trying to talk about the sport. We love it. But anyway, yeah. Earlier in the week, me and Dorian were just talking about this fight so much. He was on Cowboy hard, and I wasn't sold. I said I was going to be rooting for Cowboy, but I officially picked Joe Lozon. Now, after seeing the weigh-in, after seeing Cowboy looked fantastic at the weigh-in. I haven't seen him look much better. And I'm not talking about the ceremonial weigh-in at the end of the day. The weigh-in this morning, he was in such good shape. This is a 155 fight, by the way. Cowboy hasn't fought here since he fought fucking Gaethje, and he got murked by Gaethje at 155, and he said he was done at 155. Looks like he's coming back down here. He brought his son up on the scale with him after weigh-in early this morning. So Cowboy in good spirits. He's in good shape. I'm excited here. Taking on Joe Lozon, man. I've seen Joe Lozon get crushed so many times, and I've seen Cowboy get crushed so many times too. And I just hope they both hang it up after this one. Mostly Cowboy. I just don't want to see him. I just want to see him, just tip his hat, get a nice win here, and ride off into sunset. For betting purposes, I'm picking Cowboy. If you are on DraftKings, I'm doing Cowboy over 1.5. That gives you a plus 150 right there. If you're using FanDuel or anything like that, I'm sure you could do 3 or decision. I can do that on here as well. Cowboy 3 or decision is a plus 245, so almost there. But just for my sake, I like to do the over the like the winner and over 1.5, just to be a little bit safer without going to decision or that over what am I saying? 3 or more decision. So I'm taking Cowboy. You should pick Cowboy here. It's the smart decision, Cowboy. Joe Lozon, I don't know what it was about him this morning. He just didn't look too good in my eyes. He almost looked nervous, like, oh shit, here we go again. He hasn't fought in a while either. So that being said, let's go into the next one. Another one that me and my friend Dorian were like also mad disagreeing on earlier in the week, but after seeing it now, man, I see it. Shogun Rua taking on OSP, Ovince St. Preux. Vince looked good this morning, although it was odd that I don't know if it was just the stream or the video that I was watching. He showed up in a towel. I don't know. He obviously thought he was gonna miss by quite a bit, but he actually made 205 on the dot. So looks like he did that for no reason, because he could have made 206 and been okay. But what stood out to me today was Shogun Rua. Shogun Rua just looked bad, man. He just looked old. Honestly, he didn't look too different from Blagoy Ivanov on the scale, I'm gonna be honest. And they're a weight class apart. Man, Shogun, it's a far departure of the old Shogun that I remember from watching back in the day, just crushing Lyoto, like Machida, for the light heavyweight championship. It's a far departure. It's a live fight. If I'm going to be honest, OSP in his last few hasn't looked good either. He tends to cover up if he's getting beat up on. Shogun is older too. If I'm going to be honest, should probably stay away from this one. Gun to my head, I'm taking OSP minus 240 favorite. Nothing, outlandish here. People's main event here. This is one that could be interesting, and everyone's on Chandler hard. By the way, the fight is Chandler versus El Kukui, Tony Ferguson here. Everyone's on Chandler super hard, and it makes sense. Chandler's I feel like he's a bit fresher. Ferguson hasn't looked fantastic in his last 3 fights. He got molly-whopped by Justin Gaethje, all for 4+ rounds. He got I don't want to say he got dominated by Oliveira, because I feel like Tony came back that round 3 and he wasn't doing too bad, but he almost got his arm broken, and it didn't look too good. And then he returned super quick against Benil Dariush, and he almost got his leg broken. So he hasn't looked good at all in his last 3, taking on Michael Chandler here. So this is interesting because Tony looked really good on the scale. He looked really good on the scale, but I feel like every single time this happens every single time. Like, am I going to get convinced into picking Tony Ferguson once again? And I don't think I'm going to fall for it this time, guys. I can't do it. I'm on Chandler. I don't know if he's going to finish Tony, because Tony is tough. He hasn't been finished in his last 2, but man, it's because he's too tough. He's too tough for his own good. This is only a 3-round fight. I'm going Chandler here. If he got a knockout, it wouldn't surprise me. But also, if this went to decision, it wouldn't surprise me either. I'm just picking straight up Michael Chandler here. So co-main event time: Rose Namajunas taking on Carla Esparza. Another one that for the past few years I've been, come on, give Carla this shot again. Give Carla this shot again. She's finally got it, and I'm like, man. I think Rose is going to take it, man. She's too polished. That fight was a long time ago. She's improved so much. One thing that I have had my eye on this week is at the pre-fight press conferences and such, the fans were cheering and cheering, and it was almost like she was brought to tears. And for anyone that sees that as betting, it terrifies me, because it's like, damn, how is your mental space? Because everyone knows Rose, she's a very emotional fighter. She has to hype herself up every single time. I'm sure she doesn't love doing this. I'm sure she loves being the champion, but the whole getting in the fight thing, that's not really what she loves to do. I don't think so, at least. But yeah, Rose Namajunas taking on Carla Esparza. I think Rose gets it done here, just straight up. But however, if we see Rose on her back the first 2 rounds, I am going to be like, uh-oh, here comes the Cookie Monster. Because Carla Esparza is live. And in her last fight against Yan Xiaonan, I want to take a quote from our friend Dory. She was raining down elbows against Yan Xiaonan from the crucifix. And that's the most dirty that I've seen Carla in, I think, ever. She's never went out there with the tenacity, the furiosity, and to finish a girl like that. So if she comes in there like that to fight Rose, and you find Rose on her back and she's not doing a whole lot to get up because she's comfortable there, we might have a problem, and we might hear Ann New at the end of tonight, if you're watching this on Saturday. All right, y'all, here we go. This is the one that it blows my mind that he's still the underdog, but Charles Oliveira taking on Justin the Highlight Gaethje. So Do Bronx misses weight, and this morning he looked confused, as like, I feel like I just weighed in over there and it said I was on weight. How am I missing weight here? So he had a 1 hour allowance to cut the half pound, because for a title fight, you have to make 155 or the weight class that you're fighting in on the diet, or you're not eligible to win the championship. So Charles Oliveira takes the 1 hour, comes back, doesn't shed at that allowed half pound that he needed. So Charles Oliveira tomorrow night, when stepping into the octagon, will be stripped from the 155-pound lightweight UFC title. The only person that can win it tomorrow is Justin Gaethje. That being said, Justin Gaethje is still a plus 120 underdog, and it blows my mind. I really don't understand. Charles Oliveira missed weight. He had an hour to cut the weight, and he didn't lose anything at all. So how's his how was his weight cut? If he couldn't even cut like another half pound of water weight, because that's all that this is. You're not losing fat at this point. You're cutting water. If you don't have any more water to give, how's his brain protection? And Justin Gaethje got them thumpers on him. He will knock Charles Oliveira clean out. He's live for it. He's a plus 120 underdog, and Gaethje by knockout is plus 165. I could definitely see it happening. However, if Charles refuels and he looks fantastic like tomorrow, we could end up seeing Charles Oliveira climbing Justin Gaethje like a tree, hopping on his back and choking him just like he did Dustin Poirier. So that being said, that is how I think the fights could go down. Straight up, I'm taking Justin Gaethje. I think he gets it done. Knockout is the way to go, in my opinion. So those are my official who I think I'm just going for, and a little bit of like what I saw in the weigh-in, in the stare off, and everything like that. So let's get into the numbers. Let's get into what bets I'm making with a little bit of money that I got. I got to be honest. All right, so first bet up, it's going to be a 7-leg. I put 250 on this. Straight up, I have to be honest, I put maybe like 10, 12 bucks on this, so not a lot of dollars. And I'm hoping to win a lot. I do win probably about once a month on a 3 to 4 leg parlay. I put about $1 up, win maybe 300, 400, 250. I win maybe about 150 bucks off of like 75-cent bet. Nothing too wild, but at the same time, you're getting that cheddar in your pocket. So here we go. Up first, 7-leg parlay. I got it looks like not maybe not a Hail Mary, but something with a few like, I see you there. So up first, we got Justin Gaethje by knockout at a plus 165. Michael Chandler straight up. Donald Cerrone and over 1.5 at a plus 150. Chaos Williams by knockout plus 175. Lupe Godinez straight up minus 170. Fernie Garcia minus 135. And Tracy Cortez straight up. Those odds, 7 picks altogether, are 11,001. So I put $2.50 on that. That will net you $277.54. That's a good turnaround, in my opinion. 7-leg. So moving on, let's save our Hail Mary for the last. It looks like I did a Hail Mary one rather recently. So up first, we got or I said up first. Up next, we got another 7-leg. I put 250 on and to win $92. So not as big as the last one, but I don't feel like it's as risky, and still a great turnaround for $2.50 that you're putting on the line here. So the main event, Charles Oliveira versus Justin Gaethje. I have that fight going under 3.5 rounds. I'm finding this on DraftKings, by the way. So you go over to what is it? Go over to Fight Lines, scroll down under the alternative rounds, and you'll see it there if you are on DraftKings. If you're on FanDuel or something else, they don't tend to have the over-unders as much as I would like them. So that's why I tend to use DraftKings more often. So that fight going under 3.5. Up next, Rose Namajunas versus Carlos Esparza to start round 3. I've been finding myself liking these to start rounds quite often, and they hit for me most times than not when I tend to pick them. So Carla versus Rose to start round 3. Michael Chandler straight up once again. Donald Cerrone and over 1.5 again. Kyle Williams by knockout again. Here's what we throw in: Brandon Raw Dog Royval straight up money line, and Lupe Godinez in round 3 or decision at a minus 125. Also Brandon Royval a minus 260. So that's why I didn't say it. Pretty big favorite. But that 7-leg will, if you put 250 on that, will net you $92.52. Now we're getting into a little bit more. Okay, these legs are getting kind of up there, but it's all right. You know why? Because at the end of the day, if you lose all these, if you're following me and you lose all these, you'll lose $10 just like me. It ain't too bad. How often do you waste $10 on multiple things? The chance at winning using your knowledge, your research, and all of the above to actually win, that's what I like to do. So is I like to call this a uh, a more fun way of studying and possibly winning the lottery, if you will. So going up next, we've got a few 10 legs here. These are all money line picks right here. Straight up Rose, straight up Justin Gaethje, Michael Chandler, Lupe Godinez, Tracy Cortez, Brandon Royval, Cass Williams, Donald Cerrone, OSP, and Andre Fiallo. I don't know why I paused there for a second, but that is a $2.50 bet to win you $185, all money line. Those odds, those 10 picks are plus 7,314. So let me see if I have any other. We have another 10 leg on here. $1, baby. Randy Brown, straight up. Mauricio Shogun Hua. Oh yeah. This is my I like to hedge myself sometimes just to be safe, in case everything goes wrong. Like, man, all my bets are going wrong. You should probably do it sometimes too. And I only put $1 on it just in case. So I also hedge myself because you never know how the night will go. It is a 10 leg, and I doubt all of this will happen. I may have wasted $1, but I've wasted way more than $1 on worse things. So Randy Brown, Mauricio Shogun, who Charles Oliveira, and Justin Gaethje. I still have that going under 3.5. I don't think that one goes to a decision. Carlos Esparza winning. Cookie Monster might do it. Michael Chandler over one, or the Michael Chandler versus Tony Ferguson fight going over 1.5. These all aren't like the best odds. That's why it's a 10 leg for $1 to win 200. The Lupe Godinez versus Ariane Carnelossi fight, that going to decision. The Donald Cerrone versus Joe Lozon fight, that going to decision. Tracy Cortez versus Melissa Gatto, I have that starting round 2. So you got to dig for that just a little bit, but you'll find it. Brandon Royval versus Matt Schnell, that fight also starting round 2. And then Macy Chiasson versus Norman Dumont, that fight also starting round 2. So that 10 leg is a 27,258. A $1 on that will net you $273. So if you're down to fade yourself just a little bit in case some crazy shit happens, do it. Up next, getting kind of up here, y'all. I guess we're just gonna get ready for our Hail Mary picks. I have a 13 leg and I also have a 15 leg. So I have $1 on this 13 leg here, $1 to win $849. Odds are plus 84,893, baby. Here we go. Fernie Garcia, straight up. Lupe Godinez, straight up. The Clayton Rodriguez versus CJ Vergara, that fight going over 1.5. Tracy Cortez to win and over 1.5. Francisco Trinaldo versus Danny Roberts. That fight to start round 2, because that that is one that if it's a finish, I feel like it's going to be in round 3. So Marcos Rogerio de Lima, straight up. Brandon Royval, straight up. Macy Chiasson, straight up. Chaos Williams, straight up. Donald Cerrone, and over 1.5. Michael Chandler, straight up. Rose Namajunas, straight up. And you know how I feel about the main event. That one going under 3.5. That is a 13 legger right there. $1 to win $849. And my biggest bet of the day, if you will. It's only a 50-cent bet. But this 50-cent bet, if you make this bet and it hits 15 legs, so I like to remember that every single fight has to happen the way that you call it to I like to win this. So you either have to be super lucky, just do some research. Yeah, this sport is nuts, and if you lose it all, you can't be too upset. That's why, one, I only bet $10 at a time, and 2, I would never bet anything that I would be willing that I couldn't lose, because this is all, once again, it's gambling, and you have to be willing to lose it at the end of the day. So our 15 leg, 50 cents to win $2,514 $2.76. 15 pick parlay plus 50,000 to or 502,852. What a bet. So 15 legs, Justin Gaethje by knockout. Rose Namajunas, straight up. Michael Chandler, straight up. OSP, straight up. Donald Cerrone, and over 1.5. Andre Fiallo, Chaos Williams, by knockout. Macy Chiasson, Brandon Royval, Marcus Rogerio de Lima, Francisco Trinaldo versus Danny Roberts. That fight to go into round 2, baby. That round 2 starts. All we're looking for. Tracy Cortez to win and over 1.5. Clayton Rodriguez to win and over 1.5. Lupi Godinez straight up, and Fernie Garcia straight up. That is our 15-leg parlay. That is the one that we're trying to hit tomorrow. We're trying to turn 50 cents into $2,000 tomorrow. And if you're down for it, please bet along with me. And if you think I'm full of shit, please bet against me. Either way, I wish you luck tomorrow. I hope that you can put some money in your pockets, whether you're betting with me or against me. Please, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more of this, please just put a comment below. If you did better than me and you're watching this after, please put a comment below. Let me know how you did. And if you think if I'm full of shit, or if you just want to say anything to me, just put it in the comments below. I will read it. I'll probably respond to. So be ready for that. But please subscribe to the channel for more of these videos. I do card openings, UFC stuff. I'm a huge card fan. As you can see, I got some pops back there as well. UFC gloves. I'm a huge UFC fan altogether. I watch every single card no matter what. So that is all for me. Please subscribe to the channel. Thumbs up. That's all, guys. I wish you luck tomorrow. Hope you get some cheddar in your wallet. That is all for me, Matt, from the Golden Octagon. Hope you turn your change to some cheddar. Peace.